And welcome back to the Community Super League. I'm Hallie from the Girlfriend Bracket here with James and Cam from Loading Ready Run in Silly Hats.
Hey guys.
Hello.
And that was quite a match we had. Team Pants versus Team Hats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
very excited.
Yeah.
We wore the hats for the whole time.
Hmm.
That's
We had to stay
awesome.
on brand.
Nice. So, how did this hat deck come about? It seemed like you guys had a lot of singletons in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like years ago when we sort of started playing Magic and doing drafts online, like recorded drafts, Graham and I did sort of the Innistrad hat draft. And again, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And it's kind of stuck with us and it's been sort of our big thing. And when it was time to make this deck, it seemed like a no-brainer. And then I was like, how about Singleton? Because that means we can play more hats or more different hats, which is very important.
Gotta have variety with those hats.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And how about your guys' deck? How was it? How did it come about?
It was just kind of happenstance. We wanted to play with Geist of St. Traft. A number of us are just blue-white tempo players, and we really like that kind of style. And so we thought, hey, let's build a Geist deck. And we decided to build like the Geistiest Geist deck we possibly could with Geist, put some pants on him, give him, put Invocation of St. Traft on Geist of St. Traft,
I like that. That was fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was good. We were so sad when Geist didn't have a hat.
I
We're like, we're
know.
white blue. We can
Yeah.
play Geist. Oh wait, no, we can't. Doesn't have a hat.
Live by the hat, die by the hat.
Indeed.
Exactly. So what are some of your favorite decks that we've seen so far tonight? There was a lot of flavor.
Oh.
Well, Kenji's Dirtle deck stands out.
Yeah.
Especially when it worked. When it
Yeah.
didn't work, I was all for Team Gabby.
Yeah.
Uh,
It hurt-
I'm a big fan of the Burning Vengeance deck that Wedge was playing.
Burning
I
Vengeance
thought it
is
was
sweet.
totally sweet.
Yep.
I enjoy doing powerful nothing. Burning Vengeance does nothing with a vengeance.
Absolutely.
Wait, no.
That's not right.
Yeah.
All right. Should we take a look at some of these decks that are coming up here?
Absolutely, yeah. Our last match of the night is going to be Aaron Forsythe versus the Professor. Let's take a look at some of their deck list. The Professor is playing a deck that he likes to call Viva la French Rites, which appears to be an Unburial Rites reanimation deck.
I see a lot of good
Yeah.
targets. Avacyn, Gisela. Those are the two
Yeah,
big ones,
well-
actually.
Well,
But-
Grizzlebrand.
Oh, and
also,
Grizzlebrand there. Yeah, there he
a
is.
perennial reanimator favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta have Grizzledad.
Yeah, so this is like, I believe this is Dune Brood.
Mm-hmm.
For the old, the Nephilim color
Yeah,
identity.
you went deep there.
Cam does that. But Faithless Looting, Mulch, all help. Tracker's Instincts all help put these things in the bin, and then you have Imperial Rights to get them all back.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And can't forget our friends Avacyn's Pilgrim and Deathcap Cultivator for mana fixing, because he is playing approximately 4.5 colors.
I love it.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic land makeup,
I mean, a turn 3 Grizzlebrand seems good.
especially if it happens.
Yeah. Well,
Meanwhile, let's take a look at what Aaron Forsythe is bringing to the table. He calls this deck Closet Land, and the centerpiece of this deck appears to be Conjurer's Closet, which is an artifact that, correct me if I'm wrong, it allows you to exile a creature and then bring it back to the battlefield.
yeah. So we're looking at a lot of enter the battlefield effects here with like Geist Honored Monk, Fiend Hunter, Angel of Glory's Rise,
Hunt
Resto Angel.
Hunt Master of the Fells.
Yep.
It is a deck definitely designed to take advantage of those ETB effects and get them over and over again with stuff like the Closet and the Resto Angel and stuff like that. So
And then like singleton effects like Zealous Conscripts to just, put on a lot of pressure. Thalia's Lieutenant can run away with the game with a Conjurer's Closet on the board.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, this seems like a really sweet deck. Also, one of Westvale Abbey for that value, I guess. So yeah, this deck seems really sweet. Looking forward to seeing these both in action.
absolutely. Oh. All right. Are we ready?
Are we ready? I'm ready.
Here. Well, then we'll keep talking.
Yeah. It's what we do well here. So,
How are you doing?
Oh, this has actually been super fun just to see a lot of these decks. Let's see.
Well, this block is really rich with some strong archetypes. Like we're looking at a Reanimator deck. You were playing a blue-white tempo deck. There have been combo decks, highly synergistic decks like Burning Vengeance.
Absolutely.
This was also kind of the origin of the original Aristocrats deck, which is a synergistic creature deck that focuses on sacrificing and generating like massive advantage through sacrificing creatures. It's a wonderfully deep format, and I think we're seeing a lot of it tonight.
Yeah, we've definitely. I think we've all put together 10 really cool decks, and you guys should definitely be sure to vote in the Brewmaster voting, which you can find the link in the chat periodically. Go and vote for which deck you think is the best,
The brewiest.
the brewiest. I'm not going to say it was ours, but I hope it was ours.
Yours is pretty high up there.
Ours is pretty silly.
Yeah, well, we committed hard. Spooky movies.
All right.
Wow. Yeah. Alien, definitely on there. The Exorcist.
Evil Dead.
Evil Dead. Oh, well,
Evil
yeah.
Dead 1, 2, 3. The TV show. These are all very good movies and TV shows.
I'm personally a big fan of The Shining.
Oh,
ooh,
yeah.
Yeah.
The Shining is very good.
Many ghosts. One movie that I loved as a teenager was The Ring.
Okay.
And you go back and watch it now, and oh, that has not aged well.
Aren't they making The Ring versus The Grudge? Is that a thing?
I've heard about that, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm
It's like-
excited,
It's like Marvel versus Capcom.
but probably way worse.
Yeah, well, I'm going to bet on The Grudge since its entire conceit is not obsolete,
That's true.
right?
Yeah, because The Ring, you have to have like a
A VHS tape.
VHS tape, and my guess is 90% of our audience this evening doesn't know what a VHS tape is. So I barely know what a VHS tape was.
Yeah.
All right. Just getting ready here, guys. So
Yeah.
what else we got? What else can we talk about? Spooky things. Halloween. What's the scariest thing you've ever dressed up for? During Halloween?
I don't think I've ever dressed as anything particularly scary. Last Halloween, though, I have a corgi who appears in our intro video where we introduce everyone in the Community Super League. And last Halloween, my corgi and I dressed up as Ed and Ein from the anime Cowboy Bebop.
Oh,
What? That's amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever been anything scary, though.
Yeah, neither have I. That was a terrible question.
Quite.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm really bad at
I'm
this. I dressed up
disappointed in you,
I dressed
James.
up as a robot one year. I don't think that was very scary though.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I once made kind of like a tentacly mask out of old canvas, which I thought was kind of neat. Wore a suit with it.
All right. What say you, chat? Do you have any questions for us while we get this match going here?
AMA.
AMA. Let's just do what Aaron and the professor did for like those poor people's entire match.
Yeah.
But we'll get it out of the way now, and then we're just gonna crush the commentary on their match. And we're gonna watch it later and be like, "Oh, that's how you do that."
Yeah. Yeah. We'll carry both. We'll have like deep insight into the lines that are possible with these decks,
Right.
and also give insight into ourselves as people.
It's true. So, with that in mind, should this be a Pro Tour format? I feel like they've probably missed the boat if it was going to be. I suppose you could do it for Pro Tour Eldritch Moon. Maybe it's not too late.
We've
we
had
know-
block constructed Pro Tours before.
It's true.
Yeah. Well, that's how Intangible Virtue wound up on the ban list.
That's true. Favorite hat? I mean, it's this hat, the one I'm wearing right now. How could you not? Can you play Team Jackets next time? I suppose, yeah, we just need to get Team Jackets and Team Shoes.
Yeah, and then eventually we can like fully level up into Team sort of Fire Nice, right? Maybe we just need a deck that's all like, hat themed, pants themed, jacket themed, Umazawa's Jite themed.
That's too many GTAs. One GTA is enough.
GTA? Okay, that's fair.
There is
All
such
right.
a thing as too many GTAs.
What's your favorite type of hat? Obviously, we're impartial to the tri-corner hat, because that's kind of the only hat we had option to. But if you had to pick your favorite hat, what hat would you choose?
I personally like hats with ear flaps because they're stylish and they keep you warm in the winter.
It's true. We know those well in Canada.
It's true.
Yeah, it's like minus 80 outside right now.
Yeah,
we should probably find our hats.
We're huddling inside and hoping not to be blown away by the gales of liquid helium blowing down out of the exosphere. Maybe in the next block, Innistrad will get access to non-tricorn hat technology.
I doubt it. It seems like they've solved the problem.
Yeah, stuck in a permanent dark age.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, it sounds like we're ready to throw it down to the match, so let's head down there now. And welcome back to the Community Super League. We're here to watch the Professor with his 4-color Rights deck against Aaron Forsythe with his Conjurer's Closet deck. And
wow, the Professor seems to have a really strong opening hand here with the black-red dual land and Faithless Looting and Grizzlebrand. So that seems like a strong play.
Strong start, yep.
Just more mana dorks to fuel the wrath.
Yep. Oh,
All right.
guess he doesn't have a land to reveal there, so that land is going to come into play tapped. Meanwhile, it seems like we're just going to be playing some draw go here.
Well, I mean, considering his mana base, Professor is doing quite well.
Yeah, on all 4 colors
on
here.
all 4 colors right off the bat.
That's quite an
have
accomplishment.
perfect mana. And there goes Grizzlebrand into the bin, and we get an Avacyn Pilgrim.
Yeah,
we'll be seeing that Grizzlebrand again soon, I'm sure.
I really like the Professor's strategy here of having all 4 colors in his opening hand. I feel it's strong, and he should stick with this.
It's true.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, Aaron is playing
Probably the Ranger here.
Borderland Ranger,
Yep.
which is just not anywhere near as exciting as I hope what the Professor is about to do.
It doesn't look like the Professor has a reanimation spell in hand, though. So while
No.
he can make a lot of mana between that Missionary and the Deathcap Cultivator in his hand, it doesn't look like we're going to get an Unburial Rights anytime soon.
Well, I mean, we have to see what he's going to hit off this mulch.
Yep. With this mulch, he's going to reveal the top 4 cards, put any lands revealed into his graveyard, into his hand, and the rest into his graveyard. So if he hits an Unburial Rights, he can potentially pay the flashback cost at some point. But it looks like he hit an Avacyn's Pilgrim and a Deathcap Cultivator.
And an Unburial Rights.
And an Unburial Rights,
Yeah.
all right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Next turn, we will see Grizzlebrand hit the battlefield.
Ooh, looking forward to it.
But I'm sure Aaron will be fine with his 2/2 and the closet. Oh, but
And a Restoration Angel.
a restoration. Yep. This matchup definitely has a possibility of either ending very quickly or turning into possibly some of the grindiest games we've seen this evening.
well,
Absolutely.
Aaron Forsythe is a crafty opponent. And I think we dismiss him early at our own peril here.
Right. Looks like we're going to be seeing a Grizzlebrand very soon. Yep. Here he comes.
Fantastic.
Question is, does the Professor want any more cards? We saw in last week's Community Super League that he was very power hungry and wanted to draw as many cards as possible.
I trust that he will just go full out, draw 7 cards, pay 7 life, attack for 7. He'll just do everything that Grizzlebrand can possibly do. The professor seems like the kind of guy who's like, what does this card do? 3 things? Let's do all 3 of those things.
Yes. As we all know, more cards does mean more magic.
It's true. Although he would be quick to remember that I think lifetime we've discovered that he is 0-1 against Forsythe. With the matchup from 5 years prior.
Mm-hmm.
So
what's going through these players' minds right now?
Well, Forsythe is probably trying to figure out how he's going to tango with this Grizzlebrand. The professor's probably wondering just how many cards he wants to draw here.
Well, he can draw, 3 times without killing himself? So he'll probably do that.
Probably.
Okay. Examining the lines. Aaron
Here
Forsythe
comes
plays the Conjurer's Closet.
the cornerstone of the deck.
But will it be enough right now? Doesn't seem like he can... I mean, he can get a bit of value out of that Borderland Ranger, but he has all the lands he needs right now.
Well, depending on who you listen to, thinning your deck by like 3 cards, 4 cards, in some ways the equivalent of drawing a card.
There we go. 7 cards in the hand of the professor, with another Gristlebrand in his hand now. One Night Haunting and a Mulch and a whole bunch of land, it looks like.
So imagine this Grizzlebrand's going to hit the red zone very soon.
Well, it's not doing a lot of good just on its side hanging out. Looking at the professor's deck list, the one thing that stuck out to me was the Midnight Hauntings. Are we just looking at a way of generating 2 flying bodies at instant speed?
Could be. I'm actually not sure about that.
And I think Aaron here is just desperate to hit his Zealous Conscripts. Because with the Cloud Shift in hand, if he can find his Zealous Conscripts, he can actually just permanently take Grizzlebrand.
That's true. Yep. If he were to get a Zealous Conscripts, it's a 3/3. He would attack with Grizzlebrand. The professor would not be able to block since he's tapped out right now. And he would attack with the Grizzlebrand, the Restoration Angel, and that wouldn't quite be lethal. But
I'm getting reports from the chat from Magic that he has Midnight Haunting because he learned that Lingering Souls was banned after each list.
Yes.
Which sounds just about right.
Yep.
And we saw the professor cast another Faithless Looting, which drew him into, I believe, a Burial Rites, leaving him to be able to throw the second Grizzlebrand into his graveyard, which means he now has a backup Grizzlebrand.
And it appears that the professor has also cast Faith Shield for the extra rubbins, giving the Grizzlebrand protection from white, just in case Aaron wanted to block with the Restoration Angel.
So right now the professor could be on the world's slowest, dirtiest, and most expensive plan to give Grizzlebrand vigilance.
Hey, we're all about trying new things here in the Community Super League.
Oh, Aaron, you want to attack.
Do it.
He wants to so badly.
Send the message, my friend. Looks like he's just going to get some more land.
Well, the Angel of Glory's Rod is just not doing a whole lot here.
Nope. Yeah, if they were in a position to be trading off creatures, at least Aaron would be able to, maybe trade off the Borderland Ranger for a Deathcap Cultivator or something like that and then get it back. But that doesn't seem to be the case right now.
No, and we just saw the professor activate Grizzlebrand again.
Finding Gisela and an Avacyn, then discarding them with Faithless Looting. So really, it's a wealth of options right now over on the professor's side of the board.
So it looks like he's getting,
So
Oh,
now
dear.
Grizzlebrand. So now Grizzlebrand will be dealing double damage, apparently. Gisela, for those who don't know, doubles the amount of damage that your permanents deal while having the amount of damage that your opponent's permanents deal. So if the Restoration Angel were indisposed and couldn't block the Grizzlebrand, then I believe the Professor would have lethal here. Unfortunately, he used his Faith Shield already.
I was going to say just draw 7 more cards, but you can't do that.
Just a little bit short.
I don't know.
Yep.
I think the Professor could make the greed real here. Cloud Shift to bounce or blink the Restoration Angel,
Yep.
buying Aaron Forsythe another turn here, and getting another land out of his deck.
Sweet deal.
At this point, I'm pretty sure Aaron's only real out is conscripts. In fact, conscripts off the top would be lethal, I believe.
Yep. If he could take the Gisela here,
Yeah.
that would put him in a winning board position. Let's see what he gets. Huh.
The lengthy cleanup phase. That's what needs to go through first.
We don't need those lands.
Quite overrated. 3, and there goes another
There goes
Avacyn.
Avacyn.
Beat Midnight Hauntings in the hand, though. It's a lot of 1/1s.
Yeah, no, those. I can definitely see why the Professor would have wanted those to be Lingering Souls.
And
It's a Westvale Abbey.
not what he wanted.
Yes, chat also correctly pointing out that denying the lifelink off Grizzlebrand is very important
Absolutely.
to putting the brakes on that card.
All right, Aaron still does not have any good attacks here, though he can, of course, just get more lands out of his deck, though that doesn't seem to be preventing him from drawing lands. Is he
But-
casting the Angel of Glorious Rise here?
I believe that's just about his only play at this point. Does it? He's changed his mind though, and he's getting in for 2.
Oh, interesting.
But is he?
Yeah.
Are you going to block it? Oh. Crafty Professor. I think he
The
The
sees
Absence Pilgrim getting in here, proving its worth. I believe in this. Oh, no.
that
Aaron Forsythe
value.
hell-bent on getting some value off the Angel of Glory's Rise.
Aaron's a firm believer in value. He won't go down without a fight, or at least drawing as many cards as humanly possible.
Now, see, I would be blinking the Resto Angel just to get another blink trigger.
It's true. You blink the angel, and then the angel blinks the Borderline Ranger. You just feel like you're much smarter.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Getting 2 effects.
See what I did there?
Oh,
Exquisite.
So what do we have the Professor doing here?
not drawing more cards off of Grizzlebrand, that's for sure.
Yeah. Burial Rights targeting
Avacyn. Yep.
Because why not?
Because all of his creatures were lacking something, and that was indestructibility.
Fix that right quick. All right, well, let's see how many of them are going to come in here. And, the
get in there.
Pilgrim is just tiptoeing on that line.
Get in there, you tiny little pilgrim.
Now, all Aaron Forsythe needs to do is hold out for 9 more turns. And the Professor will go down to mill.
So we see. Okay.
Has to block
We
the
see-
Grizzlebrand here, but he'll be taking 10. Unfortunately, that angel cannot bring back the Restoration Angel.
And now he has a 7/7 flyer, a 5/5 flyer, an 8/8 flyer, and 2 1/1 flyers.
Because why not?
Yeah.
2 indestructible 1/1 flyers.
That's very true. I'm sorry. No offense to you spirits. I know you worked hard for that. And there we go.
The professor wins out of nowhere.
I did not see that coming.
Yeah,
Ken.
no.
Neither
Well,
did
it's the
I.
feature of combo.
Yeah. So now it's time to take a look at their sideboards, where I'm seeing right off the bat a couple more Grizzlebrands on the professor's side.
Aaron Forsythe bringing in some declarations in stone. Clip wings, giving the professor some options. Do I want to lose my Grizzlebrand? Do I want to lose my Avacyn?
Or maybe
Or
my Gisela.
Gisela.
Or maybe these 1/1s.
Yeah.
I see what he's doing now. He's playing. That's why he's playing the Midnight Haunting.
Yeah.
It's to play around Flip Wings.
Very smart.
Yeah. That's.
Oh wow. Yeah.
That is
It's
tech.
even an instant.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's genius.
These cuts, James. These cuts.
Meanwhile, the professor appears to be bringing in his ancient grudges to take care of Aaron's conjurer's closets. And he's taking out the Midnight Hauntings, interestingly enough. Or he's taking out at least one.
Looks like he's taking out one. Yeah.
The Midnight Hauntings are probably just the bitter taste of ashes every time you draw them, thinking, you were supposed to be a lingering souls, and you were supposed to be in the graveyard.
You're supposed to have
Instead-
flashback.
Instead, you were a Midnight Haunting.
It's an interesting experience watching people sideboard after the game that we just played.
Oh, yeah. Where we were like considering, where I believe my words were, you had to have put a good card in this deck somewhere.
I think our sideboard really,
It spoke for itself.
Spoke for itself.
Yeah, it stood on its own merits.
Yeah.
It stood on its own 15 tiny, worthless feet.
At least they had nice hats.
They did have
did.
nice app. It's true.
Right? The professor
It's just making
eyeballing
very,
some
very
of his
clear-
unburial rights
very
targets.
clear that-
Reminding us of the combo.
Yeah.
The deep synergy here between high mana cost evasive creatures and reanimator spells. We'll try to keep that in mind as we move on into match 2 here.
Ooh.
Aaron's hand does not look very good at all.
It looks better than the professor's hand, I think, at this point.
Well, yeah.
Well, I suppose that Aaron doesn't have a green mana source, which certainly,
Certainly.
doesn't quite make his hand that good. Yes, none of these cards have hats. I don't even know why I'm here.
Yeah, I'm really having a hard time following these matches without the hats.
Well, that was an Evolving Wild, sorry. It was a little blurry on our screens there. I thought that was a Ghost Quarter for a second, but nope, it looks like he has his green mana, so he can then cast the Pilgrim and then hopefully a Fiend Hunter after that.
Ooh, and there's a closet.
Hmm.
But the professor with the Ancient Grudge in hand, just ready to pounce.
Well, the Conjurer's Closet did generate an almost unthinkable
Amount of lands.
of land last turn.
It's true.
So
true.
the Professor really needs to keep those Conjurer's Closets off the board if he wants to have a hope of winning this match.
See a Faithless Looting from the Professor, revealing a Avacyn and I believe an Avacyn's Pilgrim, which I think we will see come down onto the board now.
And
Yep.
bring a Gisela and an Avacyn into the bin.
Both great things to have in your bin.
Well, I believe Aaron Forsythe will be holding on to his Fiend Hunter now.
I apologize, Chad. I'm being called out for not wearing my hat anymore. It's my bad.
James,
It fell off.
we talked about this.
I have to stand so still with these headphones.
Engage maximum jaunt.
Yeah.
right, fortified village here for the professor. And here comes a little mushroom collector.
Hmm.
All right, we're going basically toe-to-toe right now.
Yep.
Well, here comes a restoration angel for Aaron.
Okay, well, so much for toe-to-toe.
And the bitter flavor of drawing the Borderlands Ranger after blinking in Avacyn's Pilgrim with a Resto Angel.
Not
Could have
nearly
gotten
enough
land.
value.
Gotten more land. SMH.
I am literally shaking my head right now.
Aaron getting into the red zone. Love it.
Mm.
And there we see the Borderland Ranger come down.
Well,
All right.
the professor is experiencing the bitter flavor of the Reanimator deck, in which we Reanimator players know is the most powerful archetype in Magic. But you have to find your Reanimator spells, otherwise it does nothing. And it doesn't even do powerful nothing. It just does nothing forever.
He sure does have a lot of one ones and 2-1s though.
Hmm.
Ooh,
Oh.
Kessick Wolf Run.
There's a card that kills you out of nowhere.
Yep. Yep, Kessig Wolf Run allows you to pay mana to give a creature +X/+O and trample until end of turn. So any of Aaron's small creatures can become potentially lethal here.
Mm-hmm.
Might see. Yep, Pilgrim blocking a Pilgrim.
The Pilgrim and Anti-Pilgrim canceling each other out here in a tremendous release of nothing. The Professor's Pilgrim here even summoning 6, so he can't. Oh. However, the Kessig Wolf Run turning the trade into nothing but the bitter taste of ashes.
Ooh.
Or not.
Lines! The lines! The depth of these plays.
The professor's still going to fall down to 9 here, and he needs to find an Unburial Rites off this Faithless Looting if he's going to stay in this game.
Mm.
And
he does
he
not.
does not.
Oh.
But
Just keep
Again,
going with the Faithless
no.
Looting. 2 more lands. This is not looking good for French rights.
Why does he call it French Rites, I wonder?
well, if you take I had this worked out. I was like, oh, this is really clever. It's a pun in French. Les frites. Frites. Meaning fries.
Oh. I did
And
not put that
those are words
together.
that are in French. And now the connective tissue has dissolved in my brain that allowed those things to make sense.
Took a lot of brain power to play that hat deck. You're
Exactly.
excused.
I mean, if I took this off, there would be nothing but smoke rising underneath. Really, I'm surprised it hasn't popped off. Frankly. The Kessig Wolf Run going into action here on the unblockable Resto Angel.
Which without the Wolf Run next turn is lethal. So
Mm-hmm.
this is it.
Nope.
This is the professor's last chance.
And it didn't look like he hit anything.
Nope. Even his little 1/1s with flying can't save him now.
No.
Mm.
I think we're going to see a game 3 here any minute now.
Hold on. Yes, I'm getting something from chat. apparently the original Innistrad right stack, the junk right stack, I'm assuming. Yes, yeah, that was a French deck.
Who knew?
And here I thought it was clever.
It's
No, it is a French deck.
Here we go. We get to see the game 3 in the final round of the night. Nothing more exciting than that.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the sideboards.
Yep,
Let's
the
have some
professor.
real games of Magic here.
The professor putting that Midnight Haunting right back into his deck after tentatively taking it out for game 2.
What else do we got?
And Aaron Forsythe has to be looking at those Hunt Masters of the Fell in his main board and wondering when they're going to come back from break. It's been 15 minutes already. Coffee's over. And those cards work well with Conjurer's Closet, I've been told.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, final game of the evening. Let us have a good game between these two fierce competitors. Right off the bat, I feel like the professor's in a pretty good spot. Faithless Looting and Burial Rites, Gisela, a Mulch. He's got all the tools he needs to get his creatures in the bin. Another Gisela's right off the top right there.
Yeah, this is already panning out to be a brief game if the professor can get to 4 mana.
Well, hopefully Aaron will be able to get to 4 mana as well. He kept a 1-lander and will probably be sacking his Traveler's Amulet next turn. Likely to find a forest for that Avacyn's Pilgrim. But I'm not sure he's going to be able to keep up with the professor.
Well,
Cool.
there are those declarations in stone, which are a very handy answer to the professor's fatties, and the tantalizing possibility of blinking a Zealous Conscripts with a Restoration Angel, permanently stealing a Gisela. Wow. The professor here generating 4 land off a Mulch, which is what that card can do.
That is the ceiling on that card, yes.
Yeah. You rip 4 lands off a Mulch and you think, that was a possibility that I went into, that I knew could happen when I played this card. It's the opposite of a whiff, which is usually good.
What's the opposite of a whiff? Have we come up with a word for that yet?
A fihui, I believe is the technical term.
You heard it here first, folks. Fahui.
You really have to hit the H.
Yeah. Oh, I
Which-
apologize.
Normally you wouldn't, because it's a French deck.
Of course. The age is silent.
The H is silent.
You have to hit it, but it's silent. I understand.
Well, the professor's deck is firing on all cylinders, but it looks like Aaron has quite a few answers to what he's trying to do now. In addition to the Declaration of Stone that you guys mentioned, he did draw a Fiend Hunter this last turn, which can exile one of those Giselas should one hit the battlefield.
The professor's deck, yes, it is cooking off here. He is reanimating a Gisela, and he's going basically shields down. Yep, totally shields down, and he has no idea that Aaron Forsythe is staring back with a handful of answers here. Bravely did the 5/5s ride. Answers to the left of them. Answers to the right of them.
Aaron pondering which of his answers he is going to use this turn.
Looks like he's just going to go for the Declaration in Stone. It's new. It's reliable.
He's backing out.
Nope.
It's going big. It's the Hail Mary. All right.
Okay.
That is not what I was expecting.
No. So Restoration comes in, will bounce the Borderline Ranger, allow him to go get another land from his deck.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Which does mean that he can hit the Zealous Conscripts next turn.
Ancient Grudge not going to be much of a help here for the Professor.
Yeah, Conjurer's Closet, while obviously the centerpiece of Aaron's deck, is not really necessary for him to get value out of all his creatures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely the kind of thing you want to be doing with Gisela.
Just swinging in.
Yep. Reanimator is fundamentally a deck that just resolves creatures and turns them sideways. For those of you who...
Are new to the game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean... I pride myself on my deep and nuanced understanding of these playstyles.
All right, so Aaron's taking 10 here. Professor is looting into another Faithless Looting and the Green-White Village.
So, presuming Aaron conscripts, Zealous conscripts Gisela here, how much damage are we looking at? Is that lethal?
Let's see. Gisela herself. Oh.
Oh,
Well, that's interesting.
okay.
He's making some chump blockers now, so that plan may not work out for him.
yeah, the Professor has just completely stalled out Aaron Forsythe's plan here.
However, what he can do is if he... Let's see. Wonder if he's contemplating the Zealous Conscripts plan anyway.
He would still get in for a pretty enormous amount of... Well, I guess not with the 2. He would get in for about 6 damage this turn, I guess, which is not very good.
Yeah, and then Gisela cracks back.
So instead, it looks like we're going to see Resto, Angel, and the Borderline Ranger get in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's likely going for the plan B of either taking Gisela with Fiend Hunter or just exiling her with Declaration of Zone instead.
Yeah. I feel like yeah, I feel like he's probably got to be pretty confident with the cards that he has in his hand, even without having any knowledge of what the Professor is currently holding. But with another Declaration to deal with whatever he plays, Conscripts, Fiend Hunter, and the Closet, there's a lot of damage that he can do.
The Conjurer's Closet and Huntmaster of the Fells just presenting inevitability.
Yeah.
All right, the Professor going looking for some more creatures here, but he's only found Deathcap Cultivator, which is not what he's looking for right now. Oh, all right, he has another Gisela. But at this point, if he can take the Gisela with Zealous Conscripts next turn, I'm not sure if he's presenting lethal quite yet. He may have to wait another turn.
Well, with Gisela doubling damage, Aaron Forsythe does not have to get in with very much here in order to kill the professor, basically out of nowhere.
Actually, if he casts the Zealous Conscripts next turn, now that the Professor is attacked with a flyer, he may have exactly lethal. The Professor would be obliged to block the Huntmaster and the Wolf token, and then he would be taking exactly 18 from Gisela the Restoration Angel and the Pilgrim.
Can't argue with that math.
Because she did it and we did not.
Yeah, I really could not.
And it looks like he's going for it.
Well, with shields down, the Professor has really very few outs here. Possibly no outs. Yes, I'm
Getting word.
getting
no
word,
outs.
yet no outs.
Because conscripts attacks as well, correct? So, oh, what is? I was going to say.
He
are
may
you,
just be cracking his clue for
are you
value.
just going to go crack a clue and draw a card for just to make sure the game is extra over? Flunge away, Aaron. Flunge away.
Aaron here clicking each attacking creature individually rather than going with the attack all.
Bold choice.
That a boy, Professor.
Does that count as a tap concede?
I believe it counts as a tap concede, yes. And goes to 8 and goes to minus 14.
All right.
And we have Aaron Forsythe emerging victorious with his closet land deck. Well, that was a fantastic couple matches.
Oh, we should probably announce that we'll be having a new start time starting next week. We will be starting our broadcast at 5 p.m. Pacific time instead of 6 p.m. Hopefully that works for you guys. You can still catch 5 rounds of fun matches with all of us here at the Community Super League. And if you enjoyed the decks that you saw tonight, you can go and vote for your favorite in the Brewmaster Challenge. The link is in the chat. I believe it's at vintagesuperleague.com
/ Brewmaster-voting.
There you go. So yeah, any final thoughts, guys?
I can't believe our deck kind of worked.
Neither can I.
Neither can Cam. I felt bad for Cam. Graham and I built that late yesterday afternoon, and Cam just came in blind.
Yep.
But
I really felt like we were bringing a hat to a helmet fight. And as it turns out, that's a secret tag.
But as you can see up on our standing boards, we had Paul victorious over Marshall. We had Wedge taking out Magic the Amateurin. Gabby overpowering Kenji and his Dirtle deck with her vampires. Loading Ready Run victorious with our hat deck of silliness. And Aaron just beating the Professor with Closet. The Closet. Get in the closet. Or out of the closet. I don't actually know how that works.
I need to watch Trapped in the Closet again. Taking away from this.
Yeah. I assume that's the theme song to this deck.
All right, well, thanks once again, guys, for joining us. Be sure to check out our next broadcast next Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific time when we'll be playing Tribal Wars. We'll all be drafting a different tribe from the game of Magic, like elves, goblins, merfolk, maybe one of the tribes from Innistrad, werewolves, spirits, you name it. Should be a lot of fun. We'll be coming back with more action next week. And yeah, any final thoughts, you guys?
No, I think you did a perfect job.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for joining us, and tune in to next week's Community Super League.